My knees lock as I wait behind the curtain in my graduation cap. I peek out and spot my dad in the front row, arms crossed, eyes on his phone. Breathe, Mia whispers. She takes my hand for a second, then lets go. They're not even looking, I say. They will, she answers, but her voice isn't sure. The principal says, and now, our Westbridge University full scholarship recipient. My stomach flips. When he calls my name, I walk onto the stage with a smile that feels borrowed. Applause trickles through the gym. Dad claps like it's a chore. Mom claps with her lips pressed tight. Ryan just watches, grinning. The principal shakes my hand and leans into the mic. Congratulations. Full ride. Well earned. Thank you, I manage, then step off stage and hold my diploma cover like it can keep me standing. Outside, families crowd the lawn. My friends shout for pictures. I head straight for mine. Dad and Ryan are by the parking lot. Mia hangs back, adjusting her gown, not meeting my eyes. Hey, I say. Did you hear that? Westbridge. It's real. Ryan lifts a white envelope. My name is on the front in bold letters. My throat closes. Why do you have my acceptance letter? Ryan shrugs. Dad gave it to me. That's mine, I say, reaching. He pulls it away, smiling. Dad said you'd waste it. I earned a scholarship, I snap. I didn't steal it. Dad finally looks at me. Don't make a scene. Give it back, I tell Ryan. Now. Ryan laughs. What are you gonna do, swing at me at graduation? Mia, I say, turning. Tell them this is insane. She flinches. Can we not do this here? I stare at her. Why are you acting like I'm the problem? Ryan's grin widens. Because you are. Stop, I whisper. Just stop. I face Dad. Why is he holding my letter? Dad's voice is calm, practiced. Ryan's going to Westbridge. For a second I think I misheard. What did you say? Ryan wiggles the envelope. I'm going. You're not. I laugh, but it comes out broken. I'm the one who got in. My hands shake and I taste metal like I bit my tongue sometime during the applause out there, smiling. You got in, Dad says, and you'd still find a way to mess it up. I can handle college, I say. I've handled everything you dumped on me. Dad steps closer so no one else can hear. Scholarship doesn't cover all of it. I'm not paying the rest for you. So you'll pay for him? I ask. After I did the work? Mom's eyes flick to the ground. She says nothing. I look at Ryan. You want this that badly? Ryan's smile turns sharp. I want what's mine. It's not yours, I say. It's my name on that envelope. Mia moves and it's small, but I see it. She shifts closer to Ryan like she belongs there. My chest aches. Mia, I say, quieter. How long have you known? Her voice barely carries. A few weeks. The air leaves my lungs. You let me talk about dorms and classes like an idiot. She shakes her head fast. I didn't know how to tell you. Ryan snorts. He doesn't listen. I turn on Dad. You planned this? All of you. Dad's expression doesn't change. Because you needed to graduate without drama. I laugh again, harsher. So you lied to me to keep me useful. Dad's eyes harden. Ryan is my future, not you. The words hit like a shove. I blink and my vision swims. I'm your son, I say. Dad doesn't hesitate. You're a mistake I can't afford anymore. Ryan holds the envelope out just far enough to tempt me, then pulls it back. Dad looks at Ryan, then at me, and his voice drops to something final. Hand it over. Dad stops me in the hallway with my backpack in his hand. Take it, he says. I stare at it. What is this? What you're leaving with, he says. Go. Mom stands by the sink. I turn to her. Mom, please. She won't meet my eyes. Don't make this harder. My throat tightens. Harder than getting kicked out? Dad's voice goes flat. You heard her. I didn't do anything, I say. I earned Westbridge. He steps closer until I have to lean back. You think that letter makes you important? It's my scholarship, I say. He opens the front door. Not in my house. I walk out on shaking legs. The door shuts. The lock clicks. My phone flashes 12% battery. I text Noah, can I come over? It's bad. I walk until the streetlights blur. My calves tremble. I keep going. Noah opens the door before I knock a third time. Bro, what happened to your face? I try to laugh, but it breaks. Graduation. He pulls me inside. Sit. I'm fine, I lie. No, you're not. He grabs a cold pack from the freezer and presses it to my cheek. Who hit you? My dad. Noah stares like I said the sky is green. He did, I say. And he kicked me out. Your mom let him? Noah asks. I swallow. She told me not to make it harder. Noah's hands curl into fists. Okay, you're here now. Charge your phone. I plug in my charger. The screen brightens and I hate how relieved I feel. Noah sits across from me. Talk. Start from the letter. Ryan had it, I say. My acceptance letter. Dad gave it to him. That's not legal, Noah says. I don't know what it is, I answer. It's cruel. You still have the email, right? He asks. I nod. Scholarship confirmation. My name. Good, he says, voice steady. Then they can't pretend you're nothing. I look down at my hands. They won't stop shaking. They already do. Noah leans forward. Listen. You can crash on my couch as long as you need. I don't have money, I say. Then you have me, he says. Tomorrow we email Westbridge, call admissions, whatever. We make noise. I blink. What if Dad already messed it up? Noah shakes his head. Your name's on it. Not his. Eat something, charge your phone, and let yourself be mad without apologizing for it. Later, Noah's room goes quiet. My phone climbs to 43%. Mia's name lights up my screen. I sit up fast. Mia? Her voice is careful. Are you at Noah's? Yeah, I say. Where are you? Music thumps behind her and someone laughs. My dad. I feel sick. You're at my house, I say. Pause. Ryan invited me. Why would you go there? I ask. Because I'm tired, she says. I want a life that's real. I had Westbridge, I say. A full scholarship. She exhales. And you still can't protect anything. Mia, I whisper. Did you know they were taking it? Yes, she says. Weeks. The room tilts. So you watched me hope. I didn't want to hurt you, she says, but the music swallows half her words. You're hurting me now, I say. She goes quiet, then says it like she's choosing dinner. Ryan can give me a real life. You can't. I close my eyes. Tell me you're not celebrating this. I'm choosing it, she snaps. I'm choosing stability. I open my inbox. Westbridge University, full scholarship awarded. My name sits there, undeniable. I'm done begging, I say. What does that mean? She asks. It means I'm taking back what's mine, I tell her. Someone calls her name in the background. She doesn't answer me again. The call ends. I stare at the email until my breathing slows and one truth burns clean. If I don't fight for my life, nobody will. 8:03 a.m. I sit on Noah's couch with my phone in both hands, thumb hovering over the number on Westbridge's website. Noah's voice drifts from his room, half asleep. You still awake? Yeah, I whisper. Go back to sleep. Don't do something stupid, he mumbles. I'm doing something necessary, I say, and I hit call before I can talk myself out of it. It rings twice. Westbridge University admissions, this is Marlene. A woman answers, too alert for this hour. How can I help you? My mouth goes dry. My name is, I almost say Ryan. I swallow hard. It's me. It's Caleb Reyes. I got a full scholarship email and my family, someone took my acceptance letter. There's a pause that feels like a judge deciding if I'm lying. Marlene says, okay Caleb. What's your date of birth? I give it to her, then my address, then the last 4 digits of my student ID from the portal. I hear keyboard clicks. Your scholarship is real, she says. I close my eyes. Thank God. But there's a problem, she adds. My chest tightens. What kind of problem? Our office received a call 2 days ago from someone identifying as you, Marlene says carefully. They asked about transferring the award to a different student account. My stomach drops so hard I taste nausea. That wasn't me. I understand you're saying that, she replies. Do you have access to your Westbridge applicant portal right now? Yes, I say, already opening it. Do you see a message labeled, identity verification required? She asks. I scroll. My hands shake. Yeah, I see it. That flag was added after the call, Marlene says. We can't finalize your scholarship disbursement until we confirm your identity in person. In person? I repeat too loud. Noah's door cracks open. He squints at me. What's wrong? I cover the phone. They think it's not me. Marlene hears the rustle anyway. Caleb, I'm not accusing you. I'm telling you the process. Someone tried to act as you, so now we have to protect you. My throat burns. How soon? As soon as possible, she says. Bring a photo ID and the signed identity form. We'll witness the signature here. I don't have a car, I say. I'm not even at home. I'm sorry, Marlene says, and she sounds like she means it. I can email the form again. Do you have a safe email? Yes, I answer. Send it, please. I'm sending it now, she says. And Caleb? Yeah. If someone is impersonating you, you should alert your high school counselor, she says. Get documentation together. Essays, score reports, anything that proves authorship. I will, I say, even though I have no idea how I'm supposed to do all of this with a dying phone and a bruise on my face. When I hang up, Noah's standing there in sweatpants, hair sticking up. He says, tell me everything. I swallow. They called pretending to be me. Now Westbridge wants me there in person with a signed identity form. Noah rubs his face. So your dad or Ryan tried to transfer your scholarship? Yeah, I say. They tried to erase me. Okay, he says, voice sharpening. Tomorrow we go to Miss Patel. Morning hits like I never slept. At school, Miss Patel looks up when I walk into her office. She frowns. Caleb, what happened to your cheek? I sit down and my voice comes out thin. My dad hit me. Then he kicked me out. And my brother is trying to steal my scholarship. She doesn't flinch. She leans forward. I believe you. I blink, caught off guard by how simple that feels. You do. I do, she says. Now we document. Start with Westbridge. Who did you speak to? Marlene, I say. Admissions. She said someone called using my name. Miss Patel grabs a notepad. Good. We'll email her from my office and request a written summary. I have my test scores, I tell her. And my essay drafts in Google Docs. Perfect, she says. Open them. I pull up my drive, showing timestamps, revision history, my messy outlines, the late-night edits. Miss Patel nods. That's your fingerprint. Keep going. I can show the scholarship email too, I say. And the login history from the portal. Screenshot everything, she says. Then print it. Admissions offices love paper when things get ugly. I laugh once without humor. They want me to sign an identity form in person. Miss Patel's eyes narrow. Westbridge is hours away. I have almost no money, I admit. She taps her pen. We'll do what we can today and you'll go as soon as you can. The longer you wait, the more room they have to confuse the record. After school, I step outside with a folder of printouts and a new email from Marlene on my screen. Noah meets me by the steps. You get the form? Yeah, I say. And a deadline that's basically yesterday. He reaches into his backpack and pulls out a worn bus pass in a clear sleeve. He presses it into my palm like it's a promise. Go, Noah says. Don't come back without your future. I step off the bus clutching one suitcase and Noah's bus pass. Westbridge rises in front of me, stone arches, glass doors, trees taller than my street. My stomach asks, what am I doing here? A student volunteer in a blue shirt waves. Incoming? Yeah, I say. I'm here for admissions. Identity verification. He whistles. Rough first day. Office is through that gate, left at the fountain. Thanks. I walk through the gate alone. Inside admissions, a receptionist smiles. Name? Ethan. I catch myself. Caleb Reyes. Her smile doesn't move. Photo ID, please. I hand it over. My fingers sweat. She types, then picks up a phone. Dr. Harris? He's here. A man in a gray blazer appears and holds out his hand. Caleb Reyes? Yeah, I say, shaking it. Thank you for seeing me. Come on, he says. Let's get you out of here. In a small office, he shuts the door. Marlene told me someone tried to impersonate you. My brother, I say. And my dad backed him. Dr. Harris's mouth tightens. You have the form? I pull the paper from my folder. Right here. He slides it closer. Read it, then sign. I'll witness. I scan the lines, throat burning. This is all it takes? It's not all, he says gently. It's the step that locks your award to you. I sign. My name looks shaky. He countersigns and stamps it. There. Your scholarship stays yours. My chest loosens so fast I almost laugh. So I'm really in? He leans back. You were always in. You belong here. Don't let anyone tell you different. I stare at him. People have been telling me different my whole life. Then let Westbridge be louder, he says. Housing will fast-track you since you're displaced. I'll email a temporary placement. Displaced, I repeat. That's a nice word for kicked out. It's a true word, he says. And you're not alone here. When I leave the building, the courtyard is packed with students in sunglasses, laughing like nothing can touch them. I drag my suitcase toward the fountain, and stop. Ryan stands near a campus tour sign with 3 guys in polos and a girl in a designer skirt. He's holding court, chin up, smiling like he paid for the bricks. One of the guys says, "Legacy?" Ryan laughs. "Something like that." I step forward before I can chicken out. "Ryan." His head snaps toward me. For half a beat he freezes, then his smile turns sharp. "Well, look who followed me." "You shouldn't be here," I say. He strolls closer. "You mean I shouldn't be here yet? Orientation's next week." "You called admissions pretending to be me," I whisper. "You flagged my account." He shrugs, eyes glittering. "Had to see if the door was really locked." "It is now," I say. "I signed in person." His jaw flexes. "Dad's gonna love that." "I don't care what Dad loves," I say louder than I meant to. The girl beside him tilts her head. "Is this like your brother?" Ryan answers for me. "He's a problem. He'll be gone soon." I look at Ryan. "Try me." He leans in, voice low. "You think you won? You don't even have a bed." My phone buzzes before I can answer. "Dad, sign the waiver or don't come home again." An attachment loads, a legal-looking document titled Family Asset Waiver. My hands go cold. Ryan watches my face. "He finally sent it, huh? You knew," I say. He grins. "It's simple. You sign, you stop pretending you're one of us." I swallow. "I already don't have a home." "Then don't come crawling back," Ryan says, and he turns to his friends like I never existed. I stand there with the waiver glaring from my screen, my signature hovering like a trap. Then Noah calls. I answer. "Noah?" His voice is raw. "Ethan, your mom is in the hospital." I run into County General still wearing my Westbridge lanyard, like the plastic card can stop my life from falling apart. At the desk I say, "My mom, Laura Reyes." "What room?" The clerk asks, "Are you family?" "I'm her son," I say. "Please." "Fourth floor. Room 417, she says. I take the elevator 2 at a time in my head like I can will it faster. The doors open and Dad is there, planted outside a room. Ryan sits in a chair by the wall, phone in hand, and his eyes look almost pleased. Dad steps into my path. "You don't get to barge in." "I'm here because Mom is in the hospital," I say. Ryan says, "He came running back." "Shut up," I snap. Dad presses a palm to my chest. "Lower your voice." I shove his hand away. "Don't touch me." A nurse cracks the door. "Everything okay?" Dad forces a smile. "Family disagreement." I lean past him and see Mom under bright lights, skin pale, mouth slightly open. My throat closes. "Mom," I whisper. Dad blocks me again. "Your mom collapsed because of stress. Because of you." My vision flashes hot. "Because of me?" "You humiliated this family," he says. "You made her worry." Ryan's voice is light. "Drama as usual." I step closer. "You kicked me out. You tried to steal my scholarship. Don't put this on me." Dad's eyes go flat. "Everything was fine until you started fighting." "Everything was fine for you," I say. "Not for her." Mom stirs. Her fingers lift, weak. "Ethan," she whispers. I freeze. "Mom, I'm here." "Come closer," she says. Dad hesitates, then moves aside. I slide to the bedside and Mom grabs my wrist. "I'm sorry," she whispers. "Don't," I say. "Just breathe." Dad's gaze drops to the Westbridge lanyard at my neck. "You come in here showing that off?" "It's not a trophy," I say. "It's my school." Ryan lets out a small laugh. He thinks a lanyard makes him untouchable. Dad leans in. "Sign the waiver." "Tonight." "Not here," I hiss. "Not over her bed." Mom's grip tightens. "No more," she whispers. Dad ignores her. "You want family? Earn it." I look at Mom. "Did you skip your meds for him?" Her eyes fill. "I did what I thought kept peace." "Grandpa would have hated this," I whisper, and she nods. Ryan stands. "Mom, you need rest." She doesn't look at him. "Let him stay." Dad says, "Laura, stop." A nurse walks in with a chart, dark hair and a bun. She checks the 4 and says, "I'm Elena. I need calm in here." Dad straightens. "I'm her husband." Elena doesn't blink. "Then help me." Everyone step out for 1 minute. Ryan shrugs and follows Dad into the hall. I start to go and Elena touches my elbow. "Not you," she murmurs. My pulse jumps. "What is it?" Elena lowers her voice. Your mom's been skipping her medication. I swallow. Why? She said she was saving money, Elena says. Tuition deposits. Your brother's costs. My stomach twists. For Ryan. Elena's mouth tightens. Talk to her when she's awake. That's all I can say. Elena steps away and I look at Mom's bag on the chair. The zipper is half open. I shouldn't, but my hands move anyway. Inside, tucked in a side pocket, I find an old brass house key. It's taped to a faded photo of me at 8 on my grandfather's porch steps, his arm around my shoulders. On the back, in Mom's handwriting, for Ethan. My lungs forget how to work. Mom, what is this? Her eyelids flutter. Safe, she whispers, then fades again. The hallway quiet breaks when a man in a suit walks in with a leather folder. He looks at Dad, then at me. He says, Are you Ethan Park? I'm Mr. Chin. We need to talk about a will. Mr. Chin catches me outside room 417, one hand lifted like he's trying not to scare me. Are you Ethan Park? He asks. I'm Ethan, I say. My dad calls me Reyes. My grandpa called me Park. What is this about? He nods once. We should talk somewhere private. Dad's voice snaps from the doorway. He doesn't need to talk to anybody. Mr. Chin turns, polite and immovable. Sir, I represent the late Howard Park's estate. Ethan is a named beneficiary. I'm obligated to speak with him. Ryan's chair scrapes. Beneficiary? Of what? Not here, I say, and I lead Mr. Chin down the hall before my knees give out. We stop by a vending machine that hums too loud. Mr. Chin opens his folder. Your grandfather left you 3 things. A small house in Maple Glen, a savings trust, and a letter addressed to you. My mouth goes numb. A house? That can't be right. It's right, he says. He put it in a trust until you turned 18. You're 18. I look back toward Mom's room. Why am I hearing this now? Mr. Chen's eyes soften. Your grandfather wrote that he saw how you were treated, and he wanted you to have a place no one could take from you. A sharp laugh tears out of me. My dad tried anyway. Mr. Chin slides a sealed envelope toward me. The letter explains. I also need your signature acknowledging receipt. Before I touch it, a woman strides up in a denim jacket, silver hair pulled back. Ethan? I blink. Aunt Grace. She grips my shoulder like she's checking I'm real. It's me. I got Mr. Chen's message and drove straight here. Dad storms around the corner. Grace, stay out of this. Grace doesn't even glance at him. You hid it, she says to him, voice low. All these years you hid it. Ryan steps in close to me. Open it, he says, too eager. Let's see what Grandpa left. Back off, I tell him. I break the seal with shaking thumbs and unfold the paper. My grandfather's handwriting wobbles across the page. Ethan, I read aloud, then my voice cracks. I swallow and keep going. I'm leaving you the Maple Glen house and a trust because I don't like the way your father talks to you. I don't like the way he makes you smaller so Ryan can feel bigger. Dad snaps. That's enough. Grace cuts in. Let him finish. I read the next line and my stomach flips. Your father asked me to change the will and give it to Ryan. He said you didn't deserve it. I refused. If you're reading this, it means they couldn't stop the truth forever. My hands crumple the page. He tried to take it from me. Dad's face turns a careful white. Howard poisoned you against your own family. You did that, I say. You and Ryan. Ryan's eyes go hard. So you get a house and you think you're king? I think I'm done being homeless, I whisper. Dad jabs a finger at my chest. That waiver. You sign it today. Now the document on my phone clicks into place like a trapdoor. You weren't protecting the family, I say. You were protecting your theft. Mr. Chin clears his throat. Ethan, if you'd like, we can file to restrict contact regarding the estate. Ryan steps closer until I smell his cologne. You think you won? He hisses. I can still crush you. I meet his eyes. Try. I'm not alone anymore. The next morning, I sit in Westbridge's library with my folder of evidence and Grandpa's letter copied twice. My phone buzzes, then my email refreshes. Subject line: Academic misconduct investigation. Plagiarism claim filed against you. My chest goes hollow as I whisper, Ryan, what did you do? The message says I'm barred from registration until I meet them. That I sit outside Dean Roberts' office with the notice open on my phone. Academic misconduct investigation. The secretary nods. Go in. Dean Roberts points to a chair. Ethan Park, right? Yes. He taps the screen of his monitor. A plagiarism complaint was filed against your scholarship essay. If it stands, your aid and enrollment are at risk. I wrote it, I say. I can prove it. Start with access, he says. Who could have gotten your draft? My brother Ryan, I answer. He's been impersonating me since graduation. The dean's eyes narrow. That's a big accusation. I have portal logs and an admissions call record, I say. He tried to transfer my award. Send whatever you have, he says. Facts only. A knock hits the glass wall behind him. I turn. Ryan stands in the hallway, smiling, tapping the window with one finger like he owns oxygen. I whisper, that's him. Dean Roberts follows my gaze. He's on campus? He shouldn't be, I say. Not as me. Ryan makes a little snapping gesture, then walks off. The dean's voice hardens. Mr. Park, I can't act on gestures. Bring documentation to academic integrity at 2. If I lose this, I'm sleeping on a couch again, I say. Then don't lose, he replies. I step into the hall and Ryan slides in front of me. How's the investigation? He asks. Move. He laughs. You still think you belong here? I do, I say. I signed in person. You failed. His smile thins. I only need one report to stick. You mean one lie, I say. He leans close. Sign Dad's waiver. Take the hint. I'd rather take you down, I say, and my hands shake with how I mean it. In seminar, I can't hear the professor over my own pulse. When break hits, a student drops into the seat beside me. You're Ethan, right? She says. Yeah. I'm Sana, she says. I saw Ryan near your laptop in the lounge yesterday. My mouth goes dry. Near it how? On it, she says. You got up and he sat down like it was his. I was gone a minute, I whisper. Sana nods. He glanced around, plugged something in, then closed your screen. Would you tell Dean Roberts that? I ask. She hesitates. If you need me to. Just be careful. He looked happy. I know, I say. Thanks. I head to the library and call Noah. He answers, talk to me. I'm in a plagiarism investigation, I say. Ryan's framing me. Noah swears under his breath. Okay. We treat it like a crime scene. Check drive version history and Gmail sent mail. Anything leaving your account. I'm checking now, I say, fingers flying. My local file is missing. Search the title in Gmail, he says. And look for attachments. A result pops up. My draft. Sent from my account to Ryan's email. I stare at it until my eyes burn. Noah, it's here. What's here? He asks. My account emailed him my essay, I say. 2 minutes after I left my seat. Noah's voice turns sharp. Screenshot the thread. Download the message source. Headers matter. I'm doing it, I say. This is him stealing my work. Then you walk it straight to the dean, Noah says. Don't wait for 2. I print the email thread, the timestamps, the login history, and the docs revision trail. Back at Dean Roberts' office, I hold the packet out with both hands. He flips through it fast, then slower. This shows your draft was sent to Ryan before the complaint was filed. I didn't send it, I say. He accessed my laptop. Dean Roberts looks up, voice low. If this is true, your brother is the one in trouble. My phone buzzes. Mia, please don't do this. Ryan will fall apart. I stare at her message and think, so will I, if I let him win. The invitation arrives in a cream envelope with gold lettering. Mia Chin and Ryan Reyes request your presence. I hold it for a long time. Then I put it in my jacket pocket next to Grandpa's letter and decide to go. Noah says, you don't have to. I know, I say. Then why? Because they expect me to disappear, I say. I'm done disappearing. Noah straightens my collar. Don't throw the first punch. I'm not throwing punches, I say. He looks at me. What are you throwing? The truth, I say. It's heavier. The venue is a converted garden hall with white draping and too many flowers. Everything costs money I don't have and confidence I'm borrowing. I walk in anyway. Dad spots me from across the foyer. He crosses in 12 steps. What are you doing here? He hisses. I was invited, I say. His jaw tightens. By who? Your son's bride, I say. The invitation arrives in a cream envelope with gold lettering. Mia Chin and Ryan Reyes request your presence. I hold it for a long time. Then I put it in my jacket pocket next to Grandpa's letter and decide to go. Noah says, you don't have to. I know, I say. Then why? Because they expect me to disappear, I say. I'm done disappearing. Noah straightens my collar. Don't throw the first punch. I'm not throwing punches, I say. He looks at me. What are you throwing? The truth, I say. It's heavier. The venue is a converted garden hall with white draping and too many flowers. Everything costs money I don't have and confidence I'm borrowing. I walk in anyway. Dad spots me from across the foyer. He crosses in 12 steps. What are you doing here? He hisses. I was invited, I say. His jaw tightens. By who? Your son's bride. I say that. He leans close, cologne and fury. If you ruin this day, you're dead to me. I meet his eyes. I've been dead to you since graduation. He straightens, fixes his tie, and walks away. I find a seat in the back and keep my hands flat on my thighs. The ceremony is short. Mia looks beautiful and hollow. Ryan grins at every camera angle. When the officiant says I do, I look at my shoes. The reception is worse. Ryan's best man clinks his glass. To a man who worked for everything he has. Applause. To a man who earned his place. More applause. My hands tremble on the table. I think about my scholarship. My laptop. My missing essay. My grandfather dying before I could tell him they finally failed. The best man says, Ryan is the kind of man who builds from nothing. I stand up. The room doesn't notice immediately. Then heads turn one by one. I'd like to give the groom a gift, I say. Truth. Dad's chair scrapes. Sit down. I pull out Grandpa's letter. My grandfather wrote this before he died. He left me a house and a trust because I unfolded and read. He said he saw how I was treated and refused to let it continue. Mia's smile cracks at the edge. He also wrote that my father asked him to change the will and give everything to Ryan. I look up. He refused. Ryan's voice cuts sharp. That's enough. And 3 days ago, I say, pulling out my phone, I received an academic misconduct complaint at Westbridge. Someone sent my scholarship essay to the review board and claimed I plagiarized it. I turn the screen to the room. This is the email. It came from my account while I was away from my laptop. It was sent to Ryan's personal address 2 minutes before the formal complaint was filed. Guests lean toward each other. Whispers multiply. Mia stands. Ethan. He had 1 minute alone with my laptop, I say. 1 minute. Ryan crosses the room in 4 strides. You're nothing, he says low then louder. You are nothing. I'm your brother, I say. That used to mean something to me. He grabs my lapel. You want to burn everything down because you're jealous. I want the truth on the record, I say. Everything else is yours. He shoves me and I grab the table edge. Glasses tip. Someone screams. Dad's voice booms from across the room then cuts off. Ryan freezes. I turn. Dad stands with one hand on a chair, the other pressed to his chest. His face has gone gray and wrong. He staggers once, then the chair tips and he goes down hard. The room erupts. Mia screams. Someone calls 911. Guests push back from tables. I'm already moving toward him. Dad. Dad, look at me. He can't answer. Someone help him, I shout. Ryan grabs my collar from behind. His voice breaks against my ear. If Dad dies, it's on you. I hear sirens rising outside before I can answer. I just keep my hand pressed to Dad's chest, doing the only thing I know how, while everyone around me falls apart. The hospital lights are the same everywhere. I sit on a plastic chair in the hallway while doctors rush my dad behind a set of double doors, and for one terrible second I feel 8 years old again, small, wanting him to turn around and smile at me like I matter. Then I remember the waiver. The letter in Ryan's pocket. My mom pale under fluorescent lights, skipping her medication so Ryan could have his life. The 8-year-old disappears. I stay. Ryan paces near the window, tie loosened, hands white. Mia sits with her heels off, crying quietly into a napkin with her wedding makeup smeared halfway down her face. I didn't know it would get this bad, she says. I really didn't. I don't answer her. She tries again. Ethan. I'm sorry. I know, I say. I believe you. But sorry doesn't undo the months you watched and said nothing. She looks down. I thought he could give me stable. He gave you a stolen foundation, I say. Nothing built on that holds. Ryan stops pacing. Can you two stop? Our dad is in surgery. I look at him. I know. I called the ambulance. He doesn't answer that. Aunt Grace sits beside me and puts one hand on mine without asking. You're not responsible for his heart, she says. Ryan thinks I am, I say. Ryan needs somewhere to put his guilt, she says. Don't carry it for him. I press my palms to my eyes. I just wanted them to tell the truth. That's all. You got it, she says. That's harder than it sounds. A nurse updates us, stable, awake, asking for family. Ryan goes first. Of course. When he comes out, he won't meet my eyes. Mom waves me in. Dad lies with wires on his chest and a mask pushed aside. His face looks smaller than I've ever seen it. I sit in the chair beside him. Neither of us speaks for a long time. Finally he says, "You showed up." "You're still my dad," I say. That's not something I can logic my way out of. He stares at the ceiling. "Howard always talked about you," he says. "Every visit. Ethan said this. Ethan did that. Like you were the one he was leaving the name to." I stay quiet. "It ate me up," he says. "My own father. Looking through me to you. That wasn't my fault," I say. "I know," he says. "It costs him. I can see it." "I know it wasn't. You tried to give Ryan everything that was mine," I say. "My letter. My scholarship. My inheritance. I thought if Ryan had enough," he starts. "He'd be you," I finish. "The version you wanted." Dad closes his eyes. I was wrong. 3 words. They sit in the room like furniture that doesn't quite fit. Mom appears in the doorway, careful, watching. "Ethan." "Mom," I say. She crosses to me and puts her hand on my face the way she used to when I had a fever. "I let it happen," she whispers. "I was scared of him. Of losing the house. Of being alone." "You should have told me," I say. "I know." Her voice breaks. "I'm sorry, baby." I don't forgive them in one clean moment. There's no music.